And start. Action.
Okay.
Action.
Okay, first question. Why did Yang choose to incorporate the story of the Monkey King into his memoir?
I don't know, like, first of all, I guess, like, what did you guys think of the book in general? I guess we can start with that, and I guess,
Honestly,
huh?
I know that like when I had said I read it, I like told you I read like the first 30 pages and was like not into it. Honestly, when I read it the second time, I was like, okay, this freaking book's awesome.
Yeah,
I liked it too.
I'm, like, I started the first 10 pages of the next book, and I'm like, wow, we're reading some pretty good books this semester. Like, I'm
Really?
really impressed. But yeah,
Even
I liked the book
my
too.
like analysis paper, it was like right at least like a page or a page and a half, and I like just like wrote like a ton because I like liked it a lot, and I was like, okay, that was easy.
Yeah, I drew a diagram of things and then took a picture of it and sent it in.
Oh.
Me too,
But
I did a graph.
that was fun. Really creative.
And it was
So,
a
like,
quick read. It was
yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
fast.
I know. Like, when I told you guys I had already read it, you're like, what? And I was like,
Well, when you said that, I was like super concerned, and then I finished it in like 2 hours. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and I like, I think the reason why I was like surprised that you're like, yeah, I'm done with it, because I only saw that it was like 230 pages, but like I didn't think that it was like a graphic novel where it was like a page takes like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Some pages don't have any words at all. It just says like bam, and that's like the page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess to the first question, like, why do you think he used the Monkey King? Why do you guys think that?
I think I think it was a good, the Monkey King's like backstory could go into literally anybody's like memoir, because like everybody needs humility, everybody wants to like improve themselves. So like even just like my own life, I could like put him in like, if I like were to write a graphic novel, I could literally put him in mine too. So I think like having part of his culture plus it being like a really good like fit to his life, like like it was just like a good fit that made sense.
Yeah. And I think it says here too that the story is like a very common story. I guess. So I think a lot of people are really familiar with the story as well. So they've heard it like when they were little in that culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's relatable. Yeah. I think it's cool because all of the different stories, like, they had the same plot, I guess, but just different ways of like going about it and stuff. They all have the same themes. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
You know? And like, but his theme, like, he was able, the other two, they started low and they kind of stayed low and wanted to get high, but he started pretty high and wanted to get higher, you know? And I think that's like very, like, Isaac, like you said, like, it's really relatable because like sometimes we do things and we're like, oh, I'm pretty good, but then I want to be better, like, you know? And we have to be humbled and realize, you know what, like, this is who I am, you know? Like, I shouldn't try to be someone else or like something else or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's like a solid reason too, because what Gabriella was saying is that like it's a very common story that like a lot of people in the Chinese culture know. And so I think this whole graphic novel was a way to like get people to understand obviously what it's like to grow up in America Chinese. And it's like here is what it's like for me growing up in America Chinese in a Chinese folk tale. So it's like sharing his upbringing while also sharing his culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. He was probably focusing on his audience as well. He's like, what can I do to get as many people to read this as possible? So you're like,
yeah. And what an easy way too for like a graphic novel, because it's like it's such an easy read. It's so easy to understand. It's not like chiasms where it's like trying to figure out what the puzzle is. It's like very plain and simple. Like, look, this is literally what it's about.
Mm-hmm. Like, a monkey is trying to become. What was it like? What was his
I don't remember his name.
I know that is like his surname was like equal to heaven or something like that.
Yeah. Equal. I have the book with me. I can't find it.
I like wanna remember now. Okay. You must wear shoes. Oh. The great sage equal to heaven.
Yeah.
That's what his name was. Okay.
Okay. The second question is, how does this tale function in Yang's storytelling? How does he make it relevant for contemporary readers? I guess we've kind of already talked about that, but
Yeah, he takes a Chinese folklore from past, and makes it a present thing, something that not only the old Chinese people that know all the stories, like the old grandparents, like not only do they know like the story, my brother is calling me, but like now we can relate to it, he's bridging a gap. I think that was cool.
Yeah,
I agree. And I'm not one for comic books type stuff, and I really liked it. I was so surprised. So I opened it and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to read this. I don't know. I'm not really into anime and stuff.
Same.
Like that, but I really liked it. I don't know. I was really surprised.
Yeah, no, it was very you wanted to keep reading it,
Yeah.
Totally.
I was really confused in the beginning how everything was gonna connect, though. I'm like, and why are we switching to this? And now, how is this? Is it gonna connect, or is it just gonna be 3 stories completely different? And then when it all magically I am your son. What?
Yeah, I was kind of confused because it was story 1, story 2, and story 3, and all of them ended on a weird unfinished note where I was like, okay, that's super random. And then when story 1 started again after story 3, that's when I was like, why is and I remember looking at my table of contents and be like, did my ebook mess up on me or something, or what? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, this is an interesting spot. But then when I would go to the next place, it would stop around the same kind of themed spot, okay, now he wants to be better. He wants to be more like this person. Okay.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Stranger Things?
Yes.
Did you?
We love Stranger Things.
Lacey, did you watch Stranger Things, the 3rd season? So I get it's a lot of things with film when there's 3 different situations going on at once where they'll focus on one thing and then they'll cut to what these people are doing, and that's what I thought of when the book ended. I was like, wow, that was like I've never seen that like happen in a book or like a novel. So that was really super, super clever.
Yeah.
Malaysia, you should watch Stranger Things. It's a good like show for October. It's very Halloweeny. Good.
Okay. It'll get me in the Halloween mood.
Yeah. Okay, so the third question is what societal attitudes, values, or ideals are conveyed and challenged in this book? Just the way, like, I don't know, like, I feel like the schoolyard, like, recess type thing is so typical, but I think we see it in movies, but it actually really happens in real life, I feel like. Does that make sense? Like, when the kids were teasing him about, like, his dumplings and stuff.
And, like, yeah, how he's different and stuff. It's funny because, yeah, like, I feel like it's very, very portrayed in movies and in, like, literature and stuff, but, like, I don't know if it's over portrayed, like, if it's or under, you know, like, is that something that really, like, actually happens all the time and I just am super oblivious, or, like, you know.
I think so. Where are you guys from?
So I'm from Texas. And then
Okay.
Yeah. I lived all over, so I did high school in Utah, but
So I actually remember going through this like as a kid.
really,
Like honestly, I think that's why I loved the book a lot because like a lot of the stuff I like it like brought back like childhood memories because I like things like because so the high school that I went to was 92% Caucasian.
wow.
So I was like, me and my siblings were like literally one of the very few people of color, and I remember things like in like sixth grade, we went to the Capitol, like the Washington State Capitol, for a field trip, and my dad on the way to drop me off at the bus, he was like, "You want like a plate lunch? Like, let's go get you like some teriyaki chicken for lunch." And I was like, "Yeah," and I'm like in sixth grade, and I remember when it was lunchtime. This is teriyaki chicken, by the way, so it's nothing crazy. But I remember there were like seriously like 5 or 6 kids when the teacher was like handing out like lunches. Like 5 or 6 kids were like, "Oh, what is that? It stinks." And they're like, "You're seriously gonna eat that?" And I'm like, "Ugh." And I was like
so sad.
embarrassed to like eat my lunch. So I remember like I like tried to like hide me eating it. And now like what's rough is it made what was like sad is like when the kid was like, "You're in America, you like speak English." What was sad is like it made me like embarrassed that I was eating teriyaki. And it's teriyaki. It's nothing like
Yeah.
again, it's not crazy. But I like specifically remember just like picking at my food and like when no one was watching, like
That's so sad. Oh my goodness.
yeah. And I was like stuff like that would
hurts my
happen
heart.
like stuff like that would happen like pretty regularly.
Wow.
Yeah. But that was like the one that like I for sure remember because like it was like probably the most like the harshest one when it was like, "Oh, whose lunch is that?" "Oh, it's Isaac's lunch." The lunch that stinks. Yeah.
That's crazy. I remember I lived in Tonga for 3 years, and I was literally the only white girl in my school. Like, the whole school. I was the only white girl. But, like, I definitely felt, like, singled out, but never to that, like, oh, I want to be like them. It was like, oh, I'm different.
Yeah.
You know? But it was like a kind of like a, Oh, sometimes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why I was like, he did a super good job at like
Yeah.
seeing it pretty plainly, because that's what I was like, yeah, I definitely feel that.
That's really that's so crazy. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. I feel like I've experienced the opposite, or I'll explain myself. So, my dad is Mexican and my mom's white, but I didn't learn Spanish when I was younger, and so I got called to a Spanish-speaking mission. And then when I
Oh,
went to Mexico, like everyone treated me differently because I looked Hispanic, but I didn't speak Spanish.
Mhm.
yeah.
And I totally get the like in any culture, like you're not quite American, but you're not quite like your other culture. You're a mix, and
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
like so hard.
Yeah.
Just
You
finding
almost
out.
feel like they almost like shade you because like you don't speak Spanish and you're Mexican. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's like you're not either. Like you're just in the in between. Just
Mhm.
can be tough. So yeah.
Yeah, so I guess going back to that question, like a theme would be, and what was the exact, a value or ideal would be like trying to like fit in, or like feeling left out, or trying to be something that you're not.
Yes. That was what I was gonna say. And that's like super, super like obvious and clear in the book when they're like, take your true form. And that's
Yeah.
when I was like super, super like true. Cause things like I'm embarrassed to like eat something like teriyaki when like that's not even my culture, but like it's somewhat my culture, and it's like I shouldn't be embarrassed to eat that for lunch.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
Totally.
Do you feel like there were any other themes, you guys, or anything else, any other theme or ideas or values stand out to you guys other than that one? I feel like that was a really big one, but
I think one of the, I don't know if it's a theme, but it's like the young adult phase where it's like dating and lying to your parents. Like it's not a big role in the story, but it's like kind of like a small part where someone would take notice of.
yeah. One thing that I just thought about was when anytime that they realized that they were different, they were very quick to anger, or
Mm-hmm.
like quick to um like being forceful. Like the Monkey King, like, oh, I'm kicked out of this party. Okay, I'm gonna beat you all up. Like,
Yeah.
or names. I like can't remember any of their names right now.
Danny. Danny's like
Cousin
that
Danny.
too.
Yeah, Danny like just
Cousin
beat
Danny.
up Chinky. Like,
Yeah, that was terrible. I felt so bad.
No,
like
right?
almost like what the heck?
I thought Chinky was gonna get like all sad and stuff. I was
Me
about to get
too.
like super pissed at Danny, but turns out no, he could defend himself.
And his head just came off, and oh my gosh.
I know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
next question.
How does American-born Chinese challenge conventional literary forms and genres?
I feel like this genre was like there's definitely comedy in it. Um, I don't know. What do you feel? What do you guys feel is the main genre of this?
Um, I'm trying to find my page that we had to do. Because there's like a specific word for what type of book this was. Just like the coming of age book, but there's like a specific word for it. I'll find it. If you guys want to keep going, I'll keep trying to find it.
Well, the question is like, how does it challenge literary forms and genres? I think one thing is that, like, shucks, it's saying poor connection. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So one way that I feel like it like challenges a genre is that I feel like it doesn't really have like a straightforward genre, because like sometimes it is like funny, but sometimes it's like super dramatic. So I'm not sure if like I could really put like it's kind of like the first season of The Office, where it's like awkward, honestly. It's like I'm not really sure what to think of it, like the first like 3/4 of the book, where I'm like, what am I reading? That was kind of funny. That was kind of sad, but I'm still not really sure how I'm supposed to feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's like being mean to his cousin Chinky, who's like this super Asian fob, but it's like I want to feel bad, but like his name's Chinky, and like how am I supposed to be taking this seriously or not?
Yeah. Definitely.
Totally. Okay. So I found like one of the literacy tools. This book is called a Bildungsroman. Bildungsroman? Which is, I don't know if you guys saw that on the PowerPoint, but it says that the book focuses on the progression of the characters.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I saw like just seeing the progression of the characters, I think was really important as well, and just like showing how they needed to make mistakes. I think that was really good.
Yeah.
And a lot of like the main characters like did develop like a lot. Like Wei Chen was like fresh out of like Asia, speaking Chinese, and then he turns into like best friend, and then this like rebellious teenager. I don't know. Yeah, like there's a lot of characters that like develop a lot.
He also, the author also uses satire in it, like Chinky, because like in the Al Purdue thing that we read about literary terms, I'll read it. It says a satire, a style of writing that mocks, ridicules, or pokes fun of at a person, belief, or group of people in order to challenge them. And so I think that definitely was very apparent, especially with Chinky, because it was like definitely mocking and poking fun at like peeing in the soda and like knowing all the answers to all the questions. It's like, yeah, that's Asian for you, you know, like definitely like a satire, I feel.
Totally. Awesome. So I'm not on that page anymore. I don't know what oh, here it is. Okay, I think the last question. What message does the graphic novel send about a particular theme? This is where each group member shares the thesis statement prepared before the group meeting. Do you not do it, Isaac?
Did you prepare a thesis statement?
I did. It's really short, though. I'll read it to you guys. It says, in I can't pronounce his name. It's terrible. Luen Yang's American-born Chinese, the author uses conflict and dialogue to show the similar struggles Asian American students have while finding their identity in an American society.
Oh man, You guys are like breaking up. Hopefully it's not ruining my recording.
Oh man.
Try to read that one more time.
Okay. In Yang's American-Born Chinese, the author uses conflict and dialogue to show the similar struggles Asian American students have while finding their identity in an American society.
That's a really good thesis.
Thanks.
Lacey, what's yours? Oh, wait, sorry, you're muffled.
Yeah, a little muffled.
Am I better now?
Yeah.
Okay. I wrote in Yang's book, or I guess in Yang's novel, American Born Chinese.
You muffled again.
Man. Maybe yell Yang's novel, American Born Chinese. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I can.
Okay. He uses metaphors and satires to show the importance of being your true self.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Because I think like what we were learning a lot about what are these even called, thesis statements, are that like I guess what I kind of took from the past assignments of thesis statements were like you show like a couple of literary forms that they use, or I don't know the right word, and show how that gives a theme. So that's what I tried to do in that.
Yeah. I think a thesis statement could be like, it's pretty straightforward that like, and I'll definitely write one and I'll put it in my page and a half to 2-page response paper. But it really is just like a statement of fact. I feel like a lot of like the assignments honestly made me feel like I was overthinking it at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those are both really good like thesis statements that are just like straightforward statement, like fact statements that like, yeah.
In the group discussion submission thing, it says that all claims must be supported by evidence from text quotes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I also have to have like 2 quotes from like each of you. And I don't know if you guys want me to pull it from this like video recording, or if you guys want to like text me like things like your some viewpoints or like thoughts that you had on the book or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I can just tell you right now.
Oh yeah, why don't you guys could do that, because we have literally like 1 minute left. So if you guys both want to give like 2 quotes, then I could just pull it from there.
Yeah, because like I feel like when you write the response paper, it's gonna go over these questions. So like just in response to what social attitudes, values, or ideals are conveyed and challenged in this book. Lacey says that and a value that is conveyed and challenged in this book is just staying true to yourself.
I might have you text these to me too, because like sometimes you guys cut in and out. Hopefully it's not like super choppy on when I post it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. It's one of the quotes I pulled out of the book was like right at the beginning on page 37, and it's when what's his name? Wei Chen, his friend from Taiwan.
Wei Chen.
Wei Chen, yeah, when he's talking to not Danny. What's his name? I'm so bad. I can't remember his name.
Chinky.
Yeah, Jinky. And he's just like, excuse me, like, are you Chinese? So he says like, sorry.
Oh, Jin.
Huh?
Jin. His friends. Yeah, Jin.
Yeah. On page 37, when he says like, sorry to bother you, but you're Chinese, aren't you? And then the other guy's like, you're in America, you need to speak English. I thought that was a really good quote.
A quote that I liked was when the Monkey King was going against, let's see, how do I say his name? Wang La Sao, like the god. And he said,
oh, yeah.
I created you. I created you. I say that you are a monkey, therefore you are a monkey. You know, like Heavenly Father, like, and I think that goes along with like our beliefs. Like Heavenly Father created us so that, like, not to, like, for a purpose for us. You know, like we all have our own purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, and we can text. I'll text this to you.
Yeah. You should text me soon because I'm running into poor connection, and we're like, I think I might be like getting choppy because I've been recording for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'll text it to you right now.
Did you stop? I think we're good on recording, right? Like we have 30 minutes.
Yeah, I